Hi everyone. Today I'm talking about the project approach and how it connects to what we've been learning this semester about developmentally appropriate practices for preschool children. Let's talk about the 3 M's, the manipulation, mastery, and meaning. And I'm going to explain how the project approach supports all 3 of those, plus the ideas of exploration, problem solving, and social interaction that we've talked about in class. So first, the project approach is really about letting kids dive into something they're interested in and explore it over time. Instead of us just teaching a quick lesson and moving on, these projects give children time to investigate, experiment, and ask questions. And that's where the 3 M's come in. The first M is manipulation. Basically, hands-on learning. With projects, there's always a lot of hands-on work because children are constantly touching, trying, testing, and exploring things to figure out answers. For example, if the class is doing a project on plants, the kids might plant seeds, fill the soil, water their plants every day, and measure how tall they grow. We might set up small stations with magnifying glasses, different kinds of seeds, rulers, and clipboards so they can explore this on their own. When kids get to manipulate these real materials, they stay engaged and it makes the learning feel real. The second M is mastery, building skills and confidence over time. Because projects last for weeks instead of just one day, kids just get to practice these things over and over again in meaningful ways. With a plant project, maybe they practice drawing their plants or learn how to measure them correctly or even make a simple chart. They start to understand the routine, and eventually they can do a lot of it without help. That's where they get the "I can do this" feeling. One strategy from the project approach that really helps with this is when the teachers model something first, like how to record an observation, and then slowly let the children take over that job. That's how mastery grows naturally. The third M is meaning, helping kids make connections to the real world. Projects are great for this because they start with things kids actually care about. When we do something like a plant project, children do start noticing plants outside, or they might talk about gardens at home, or they'll compare how their plant looks to someone else's. We can even bring in a guest who gardens, or take a small walk outside if the weather's good to look at plants in the neighborhood. Those real life connections help the learning stick and make it more personal, which they really care about. Now, throughout the semester, we've also talked a lot about the importance of exploration, problem solving, and social interaction. And the project approach fits perfectly with all of those. Exploration happens naturally because kids are free to ask questions, test their ideas, and try things out on their own. They're not just memorizing facts. We're not sitting down doing worksheets with them. They are actually learning from a real life activity, and they're discovering all these things on their own. Problem solving shows up all the time. Sometimes a plant starts drooping, and the whole group has to figure out why. Or a child might wonder why one seed grows faster than another. They come up with these ideas, test them, and then they see what happens. This kind of thinking is exactly what builds the strong cognitive skills that will help them as they go through school, as they get older. Social interaction is also a huge part of projects. Kids talk to each other about what they notice. They share tools, they compare results, and sometimes they may disagree, which is okay. They learn how to work in a group, communicate clearly, and listen to other people's ideas. Those are really important skills for school for the rest of their life. They will use those communication skills and learn how to get along with others. And finally, teachers, they play a big role. Even though projects are child-led, we can help guide conversations, ask questions that make kids think deeper, and help them document what they're learning with drawings, photos, or simple charts. This documentation also helps us see what they understand and where we can take the project next. So overall, the project approach supports manipulation through hands-on exploration, mastery through repeated practice, and meaning through real life connections. And it also brings in everything else we've learned this semester: exploration, problem solving, teamwork, communication, and making learning feel exciting and personal for young children. That's when they get excited to learn. Thanks.